What if the first 60 minutes of your day determine whether you'll live as a slave to circumstances or a master of your mind? For too long, you've woken up reacting, checking notifications, drowning in anxiety, letting the world dictate your mental state before you've even stood up. Today, you'll discover 6 ancient Stoic rules that'll completely rewire your morning mindset and forge you into someone mentally unbreakable. These aren't feel-good platitudes. These are battle-tested principles from men who ruled empires, endured exile, and faced death with unshakable calm. Each rule builds on the last, creating an armor of mental strength that nothing can penetrate. Watch till the end. The rule you skip might be the one you need most. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, didn't wake up in a palace of comfort and ease. He woke to the weight of an empire on his shoulders, constant warfare, betrayal from those closest to him, and a body ravaged by illness. Yet every morning, he did something that separated him from every other ruler in history. He wrote in his private journal what we now know as meditations, and he prepared his mind for battle. Not the battle on distant frontiers, but the battle within. In Book 5, he wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for?" This wasn't motivational speech. This was survival protocol, because Marcus understood something most people never grasp. Your morning isn't just the start of your day. It's the foundation of your entire mental architecture. Mess up your morning, and you've already lost before the first real challenge arrives. In our modern world, we're under siege. Digital warfare, constant comparison, an epidemic of anxiety and mental weakness disguised as sensitivity. The Stoics faced plagues, wars, and tyranny. We face a different kind of invasion, one that attacks our attention, our peace, our very sense of self. But the principles remain timeless. In this video, we'll explore 6 powerful Stoic rules that will transform your mornings from moments of weakness into rituals of power. You'll learn how to wake up with clarity instead of chaos, how to build immunity against external circumstances, and how to create a mental fortress that nothing can breach. These aren't theories, these are tools. Let's begin. Rule 1. Prepare your mind before the world attacks it. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 2, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil." This wasn't pessimism, this was preparation. The emperor understood that the world doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't care about your feelings, your plans, or your fragile sense of how things should be. The moment you open your eyes, reality is already in motion. Most people react to this. They wake up, immediately check their phones, and let a flood of external chaos pour into their unprepared minds. They start the day defensive, anxious, already behind. But when you prepare your mind first, when you mentally rehearse the challenges ahead, you're no longer ambushed by reality. You've already fought the battle in your mind and decided how you'll respond. This is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It's not negative thinking, it's strategic mental positioning. Here's the problem this solves. You wake up expecting a perfect day, and the first inconvenience shatters you. Someone cuts you off in traffic, your boss is in a bad mood, a project falls through, and suddenly you're a victim, emotional, reactive, weak. The Stoics rejected this completely. They knew that unmet expectations are the source of most suffering, so they eliminated the expectation that life owes them ease. They expected obstacles, they expected difficult people, they expected setbacks. And because they expected them, they couldn't be broken by them. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, sit for 3 minutes, close your eyes, run through your day, visualize the difficult people you might encounter, the unexpected problems, the moments where you'll be tempted to lose composure. See yourself responding with calm strength. Say out loud, "Today I will face difficulty, and I will remain unshaken." This simple practice rewires your nervous system from reactive to proactive. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You've already decided who you'll be before the test arrives. Most people spend their mornings hoping for ease. You'll spend yours preparing for war. Not external war, but the only battle that truly matters, the battle for control of your own mind. When you master this, you don't just face the day, you dominate it. But knowing this isn't enough. There's another principle that builds on this foundation. Let's move to Rule 2. Rule 2. Claim your power over what you control. Epictetus, who spent years as a slave before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, taught his students a principle that cuts through all mental suffering like a blade. He wrote in the Enchiridion, "Some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing." This is the dichotomy of control, and it's the master key to mental freedom. Most people wake up trying to control everything: the weather, other people's opinions, outcomes of events, the past, the future. They pour their mental energy into 1,000 things they have zero power over, and they wonder why they're exhausted, anxious, and constantly disappointed. The Stoic morning begins with radical clarity. What can I actually control right now? Your thoughts, your responses, your effort, your character, your choices in this present moment. That's it. That's the entire list. Everything else, every single thing outside that circle, is not yours to control. And trying to control it is like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips through, leaving you with nothing but frustration. Here's what happens when you ignore this principle. You wake up and immediately start worrying about things you cannot change. Will the meeting go well? What do people think of you? Will your plans work out? These thoughts create a background hum of anxiety that follows you everywhere. You're exhausted before you even start, because you're fighting battles you can never win. But when you claim your power over what you control, everything shifts. You stop being a beggar, hoping reality will be kind to you. You become a sovereign, ruling the only kingdom that was ever truly yours, your own mind. Here's your morning protocol. Before you leave your bedroom, ask yourself 3 questions. What can I control today? List it: your attitude, your work ethic, your responses to difficulty, your integrity. Write it down if you need to. What can I not control today? List it: other people's behavior, outcomes, the past, unexpected events. Where will I invest my energy? All of it goes into column 1, 0 into column 2. This practice takes 90 seconds, but it creates a mental boundary that protects you all day. When something outside your control goes wrong, and it will, you'll recognize it immediately. You won't waste energy on it. You'll redirect that energy back to your response, your attitude, your next move. This is power, real power. Not the power to control life, but the power to control yourself within life. Most people spend their entire lives as prisoners to external circumstances. You're about to break free. But there's a deeper layer to this. Let's move to Rule 3. Rule 3. Death is your advisor, not your enemy. Seneca wrote in his letters to Lucilius, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. The Stoics began every day with the awareness that it might be their last. This wasn't morbid obsession. This was the ultimate clarity tool. When you remember that your time is finite, that this morning might be your final morning, everything false falls away. The petty concerns, the meaningless conflicts, the time wasted on trivial distractions, all of it dissolves in the face of mortality. What remains is what matters: living with purpose, treating people with respect, doing work that means something, becoming who you're capable of becoming. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This wasn't depressing, this was liberating. Because when you know your time is limited, you stop wasting it on things that don't serve your highest self. Here's the problem most people face. They live as if they have infinite time. They say someday, and eventually, and when things settle down. They put off the hard conversations, the meaningful work, the person they know they should become. And then, one day, time runs out. And they realize they spent their precious hours on things that didn't matter while avoiding the things that did. The Stoics rejected this delusion completely. They practiced memento mori. Remember, you must die not to create fear, but to create urgency, to wake them up from the sleepwalk of ordinary life. Here's your morning practice. When you wake up, before your feet touch the floor, say this out loud: "I am alive today. This is not guaranteed tomorrow. What I do with these hours is my only true possession." Then ask yourself, if this were my last day, what would I do differently? Who would I call? What would I say? What work would I prioritize? What grudge would I release? Now here's the key. Do those things today. Not someday. Today. Call that person. Have that conversation. Do that work. Release that grudge. Live as if your time matters, because it does. This practice transforms your morning from a mindless routine into a conscious choice. You're not just going through the motions, you're living deliberately, urgently, fully awake. Most people die at 30 and are buried at 80. You're about to live every single day. But remembering death isn't enough. You need to understand what you're building toward. Let's move to Rule 4. Rule 4. Your character is your only true wealth. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 7, "Dig within. Within is the wellspring of good, and it is always ready to bubble up if you just dig." The Stoics understood something that our modern culture has completely forgotten. External success means nothing if your character is weak. You can have money, status, influence, and respect from others. But if you compromise your integrity, if you're ruled by your appetites, if you bend to every pressure and temptation, you have nothing. You're a hollow shell, decorated with achievements that ultimately don't belong to you because they can all be taken away. But your character, that's yours. That's the only thing no one can take. Not circumstances, not other people, not even death itself. The morning is when you build this. Not in the big moments, those are just tests of what you've already built. You build character in the small, private moments when no one is watching and there's no immediate reward. Here's what happens when you ignore this. You chase external validation. You make decisions based on what looks good rather than what is good. You lie to yourself about small things, and those small lies compound into a life built on a foundation of sand. When the storm comes, and it always comes, you collapse, because there's nothing solid underneath. But when you prioritize character, when you make it your morning focus, you become someone different. You become someone who can't be bought, can't be intimidated, can't be broken. Because your identity isn't tied to what you have or what others think. It's tied to who you are, when no one's looking. Here's your morning protocol. Before you interact with anyone or check any device, ask yourself one question. What kind of person do I want to be today? Not what do I want to achieve, not what do I want to get. What kind of person do I want to be? Patient or reactive, honest or convenient, disciplined or weak, generous or selfish. Choose 3 character traits. Say them out loud. Today, I will be disciplined. I will be honest. I will be calm. Then, throughout your day, every decision you make gets filtered through this. Does this action align with the person I said I'd be? If it doesn't, you don't do it. No matter how tempting, no matter how easy, no matter who's watching or not watching, this is integrity. This is how you build a self you can trust. This is how you become unbreakable, because you're not dependent on circumstances being favorable. Your strength comes from within, from the character you've forged through 1,000 small, private decisions. Most people are strangers to themselves. You're about to become your own foundation. But there's a practice that accelerates this transformation. Let's move to Rule 5. Rule 5. Gratitude is your weapon against desire. Seneca wrote in Letters to Lucilius, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." The Stoics recognize something profound. Most human suffering comes not from lack, but from endless wanting. You want more money, more success, more recognition, more pleasure, more security. And no matter how much you get, it's never enough, because desire is a treadmill. The moment you achieve one thing, your mind immediately fixates on the next. This creates a permanent state of dissatisfaction. You're never present, you're never at peace, you're always chasing, always hungry, always feeling like you're behind. The antidote? Gratitude. Not the shallow, Instagram caption kind. Deep, stoic gratitude that recognizes the extraordinary privilege of existence itself. You woke up today. Your heart is beating without you having to think about it. You can see, hear, think, choose. You have challenges, yes, but you also have capacity. You have today. You have this moment. Here's the problem this solves. You wake up focusing on what you don't have, the life you haven't built yet, the person you're not, the things you're missing. This focus creates a scarcity mindset that colors everything. You become anxious, envious, never satisfied. You achieve something significant, and 5 minutes later, you're already focused on the next gap. But when you begin your morning with gratitude, you shift from scarcity to abundance. You recognize that you already have what billions of humans throughout history would have considered miraculous. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from a foundation of incredible privilege. This doesn't make you complacent. It makes you powerful. Because you're no longer desperate. You're not operating from lack. You're operating from fullness, from strength, from a recognition that life has already given you the most important thing, the chance to participate. Here's your morning practice. Before you do anything productive, before you check your goals or your tasks, take 60 seconds and list 5 things you're grateful for right now. Not abstract things, specific things. The warmth of your blanket, the fact that you can walk, the person who loves you, the challenge that's making you stronger, the lesson you learned yesterday. Feel it. Don't just list it intellectually. Actually connect with the feeling of gratitude. Let it fill your chest. Then say this: I have enough. I am enough. From this foundation, I build. This practice doesn't eliminate ambition. It eliminates desperation. You still work hard, still pursue goals, still push yourself, but you do it from a place of strength rather than a place of lack. You become someone who creates from abundance rather than someone who chases to fill a void. Most people are addicted to wanting. You're about to discover the power of having. But there's one final rule that brings everything together. Let's move to Rule 6. Rule 6. The obstacle is the path forward. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 5, "Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions, because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the Stoic principle that separates the unbreakable from the broken. Most people see obstacles as things that happen to them: bad luck, unfair circumstances, problems that shouldn't exist. And when obstacles appear, and they always appear, these people collapse. They complain, they blame, they wait for circumstances to change before they can move forward. The Stoic sees obstacles completely differently. Every obstacle is not a roadblock, it's raw material. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. It's the universe giving you exactly the resistance you need to become stronger. A difficult person teaches you patience, a setback teaches you resilience, a failure teaches you wisdom, a loss teaches you what truly matters. There is no obstacle that doesn't contain within it the seed of equivalent or greater benefit if you choose to see it. Here's what happens when you don't embrace this. You spend your entire life resisting reality. You wake up hoping for a smooth day, and when friction appears, you're emotionally destroyed. You see every challenge as evidence that life is against you. You become brittle, fragile, constantly looking for ease and comfort, and because life is inherently difficult, you're in a constant state of disappointment and victimhood. But when you adopt the Stoic view, when you truly internalize that the obstacle is the way, everything transforms. You stop resisting, you stop complaining, you stop waiting for circumstances to be different. You look at every challenge and ask, what is this teaching me? How is this making me stronger? How can I use this? This is mental alchemy. You're taking the lead of difficulty and transmuting it into the gold of growth. Here's your morning practice. Think of the biggest obstacle you're currently facing, the problem that's been weighing on you, the situation that feels unfair or overwhelming. Now reframe it completely. Say out loud, "This obstacle is not my enemy, it's my training. It exists to make me stronger, wiser, more capable. I will not resist it, I will use it." Then ask, what specific quality is this obstacle forcing me to develop? Patience, courage, creativity, discipline, humility? Name it. Then commit to developing that quality through engaging with this obstacle rather than avoiding it. This shifts you from victim to student, from someone who suffers obstacles to someone who minds them for growth. Throughout your day, when challenges arise, and they will, you'll catch yourself starting to resist. Stop, pause, remember, this is the way forward. This is exactly what I need. And you'll respond with strength instead of complaint. Most people spend their lives avoiding difficulty. You're about to discover that difficulty is the only path to becoming unbreakable. Now you have all 6 rules, but understanding them intellectually means nothing. Let's bring this home. Let's be clear about what you just learned. You now possess 6 ancient rules that can completely rewire your morning mindset and forge you into someone mentally unbreakable. Rule 1. Prepare your mind before the world attacks it. Stop being ambushed by reality. Rule 2. Claim your power over what you control. Stop wasting energy on what you can't. Rule 3. Death is your advisor. Live urgently, not someday. Rule 4. Your character is your only true wealth. Build it daily in small, private moments. Rule 5. Gratitude is your weapon against desire. Operate from abundance, not lack. Rule 6. The obstacle is the path forward. Every challenge is training. These aren't philosophical abstractions to contemplate. These are tools, weapons, daily practices that compound into a completely different way of existing in the world. Here's what happens when you implement these rules every single morning. You stop being reactive. You stop being fragile. You stop being a victim of circumstances. You become someone who cannot be shaken. Not because life stops throwing obstacles at you, it won't, but because you've built a mental foundation so solid that nothing external can crack it. You become the kind of person who walks into chaos and brings calm, who faces uncertainty and remains steady, who encounters difficulty and sees opportunity. This is what the Stoics meant by being unbreakable. Not that nothing affects you, but that nothing controls you. The question is, will you actually do this? Most people will watch this video, feel inspired for 30 seconds, and do nothing. They'll go back to their reactionary mornings, their victim mindset, their endless complaints about circumstances. But you're not most people. You're here because something in you knows you're capable of more. So here's what you do. Tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, before you speak to anyone, you implement these 6 rules. Just once, see what happens. Then do it again the next day. And the next. These rules aren't a quick fix. They're a daily practice, a lifestyle, a philosophy that you live, not just think about. Tap, like if this resonated with you, if you're ready to stop being a slave to circumstances and become a master of your mind. Drop your affirmation in the comments. Which rule hit hardest? Which one are you committing to practice tomorrow? I want to hear from you. Subscribe for unapologetic Stoic truth every single week. No fluff, no feel-good nonsense, just the raw, ancient wisdom that builds unbreakable humans. 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius sat on a throne and wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He was right then, he's right now. The world will keep throwing chaos at you. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Circumstances will change. That's guaranteed. But your response? That's yours. That's always been yours. Claim it, build it, protect it. Become the master of your mind. Rebuild, refocus, rise.